Have you ever felt guilty for saying no? Like somehow you were the bad person for having boundaries? That's not love. That's emotional blackmail. And so many people are experiencing it and not even realizing it. So let's define emotional blackmail. Emotional blackmail is when someone uses your feelings, like guilt, fear, or obligation, to control your behavior. It's control disguised as emotion, or control disguised as love. After everything I've done for you, or silent treatment when you don't comply, playing a victim to make you feel responsible, threatening to leave, cheat, or withdraw love, making you feel selfish for having needs. And if this feels familiar, it's not a coincidence. Emotional blackmail works because you're empathetic, you care, and you want to do the right thing. You've been conditioned to keep peace. You don't want conflict. You've been taught that saying no equals hurting people. Your empathy is being weaponized against you. They apply pressure, guilt, fear, silence. You give in to relieve discomfort. They learn it works. It repeats and escalates. It doesn't stop. It trains you. Love doesn't punish you for having boundaries. Healthy people respect you. If someone only treats you well when you comply, that's control, not love. How to start breaking free from this type of cycle would probably be to pause before responding. Sometimes that can be hard. Just want to just let loose, Or stop over explaining. Get comfortable with disappointing people. Watch actions, not words. You're not responsible for managing someone else's emotions at the expense of your own. If you've been feeling guilty, confused, or like you can never win, you're not crazy. You're being manipulated. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. So that is the definition of emotional blackmail. Those are examples of how, someone in your life could employ those tactics on you to make you feel that fear and that guilt and that obligation to them. Do as I say, after all I've done for you, it could be a narcissistic parent, it could be a narcissistic partner, a narcissistic boss, whoever. It's someone who feels like you owe them. So whoever in your life that, you just feel that emotional weight, like you feel indebted to them, whoever that is, to you personally, they may make you feel that way. And you at first, you don't even know that that's what it is. You're just thinking that's normal. This is someone, they've done a lot for me. But the thing is, if they love you or they really care about you, is that something they should throw in your face? By making you feel like you're indebted to them, like you must do as I say, or, there's going to be all this tension and conflict going on. And that's not right. That's not right to manipulate someone's mind like that and try to make them fear you or make them fear your wrath or, the consequences by, silent treatment, ignoring you, withholding, help or support because, oh, you didn't do what I said. I told you I wanted you to do this. You didn't do this. So, no, I'm not doing this for you. And I think we've all at some point experienced emotional blackmail. It just might have come from, different people with different roles in our lives. I've definitely experienced it, and I knew it wasn't right. I'm like, okay, you're asking me to do something that is going to affect like me or my financial situation. And I'm like, okay, let me think about it. Because sometimes there are times, if it's a small amount or something, you're like, fine. But like someone's asking you to do something that could really affect what you have or what you need, you might actually need something. And like they're trying to take that from you because they feel like you're naive or like you owe them or like they own you. So like, oh yeah, I'm going to convince her to do this. And if you say no to them, even if it's a reasonable no, like there's nothing wrong with me saying no to this request, they can snap at you. I saw a post earlier today about a married couple. She sent in, an anonymous, story about how her husband was wanting her to pull money out of her 401k, I guess so they could use it for whatever they needed to use it for. And once they were about to do it, she told him, let me process this. Like she needed about 30 minutes. And he didn't like that she wanted to take, time. He wanted her to jump, like do it immediately. Do what, he wanted her to do. And she said like he just started cussing her out and calling her names, calling all types of B words. And that reminded me of something I went through in like 2019. I was being asked to do something that would affect my finances. And this is not by a man, like a partner. This is like, was a family member. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why are they asking me? I have a small child. Like, you have your own stuff going on. Like, why are you trying to lean on me? And I didn't have anything. Like, I didn't have much. I had, my own place and my car and stuff, but I'm like, you have more than me. And like, you're basically, this person requesting, asking, but really it wasn't a request. It wasn't an ask. It was a demand disguised as a request. And I'm like, you know what? Hold on. I need to check something. I need to see if this is what I want to do. If this will actually benefit me in the long run, because I feel like it didn't. And when I checked the numbers and everything, like it doesn't make sense for me to do this. But before I even got back to them, because I'm like, I'll call you back, or, give me some time. I said, like, give me an hour. Man, it wasn't even 30 minutes later. I started getting crazy, threatening text messages from someone else related to us, related to them. And I'm like, threatening me, saying, after all this person's done for you, you're going to do this. And I mean, it was straight up talking crazy to me. I can still find the text message. Like, it is so insane. Like, this person is very unstable. To this day, just way worse than what they were. Like, that was something back then. They are on a whole another level today. And I'm thinking, it hadn't even been 30 minutes past. Like, you didn't even give me a chance to check and see, which I would eventually say no, but still, like, you couldn't even wait the time frame that I gave you. Man, but what it confirmed for me was that that person that asked me to do that was using triangulation between me and this other person. They were triangulating us to cause tension, because how would they even know about your ask or your need from me unless you told them? There was no reason to even include them. And that confirmed that for me. And then after that, I never looked at either one of them the same. And I thought maybe I could let it go, but it was always in the back of my head, like, how do they really view me? Which I never felt like they just viewed me in a really positive light. Like, I really felt like they really dogged me out behind my back. And 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 it was just like, yeah, I think this is confirming that. And I never really trusted them. And then a lot of stuff started happening, later, that just really proved everything that I felt like, my enemy is my just not trustworthy people, good people, don't trust them. But it's just crazy how people will use emotional blackmail. And like, when you say no, when you have boundaries, you're attacked, like attacked, verbally attacked. You can be physically attacked. Like, you can be attacked for having boundaries. This is a scary world that we have to navigate with people like this. And people older than you, or men, who are unstable, which is very dangerous, combination. But it's just wild, like, whew, like, you expect maturity from certain people. Obviously, some people, they're never going to have it, so you don't expect much from them. But there are people, elders, you do expect maturity from, and you just see you're never going to get that from them. Like, they're just not mature. They are, like, seriously, like a kid. So I just had to accept that, those people weren't my people. And I am the type of person that will go no contact when I see necessary. I don't feel guilty about it. I used to have some guilt, but over time, I've let it go. I'm able to move on with my life because I know there are things that I want in life, and I want, like a real, whole, healthy family. So you have to let go of toxic people to get that. So sometimes you do want love so bad. So when you come from toxicity, you're trying to find like a partner, someone that you can grow with because you want that family. But you got to be careful, because you might want love so bad that you will connect with a toxic partner. And then you're back in the same cycle. It's just with someone that you can be, intimate with, and, create a family with. And that, that might become even worse. Dynamic. So you just have to be careful. Sometimes we want love so bad, and we want acceptance so bad, that we allow people to attack us, and we don't do anything about it. We want to react. We want to retaliate and cut somebody out and pull up and, fight. But, like, no, this is not the way to handle that. But you're just like, you're trying to, like, I'm struggling right now. I don't want to, burn a bridge, but sometimes, like, you gotta learn how to become independent. And after that, I told myself I'm going to work on becoming more independent and having my own, so I never had to ask this person for anything. And what's wild is they were asking me for something. But that's what emotional blackmail is. And yeah, an example is just people using fear, obligation, and guilt. The acronym is FOG, to control you, to keep you chained to them. It's a cycle of dependency. It's an example, I guess, like for my spiritual people, of the devil tarot card would be an example of like a toxic codependent dynamic. If you go and look at that card, that would kind of give you like a visual representation of what it can look like. Just being chained to, it could be your desires, your vices, or just being chained in a relationship that you know is not healthy, but it's hard for you to free yourself. So emotional blackmail can definitely keep you, living in fear, feeling like you can't escape a relationship, or, cut off, your family, or block your ex or whatever because you feel obligated. Or what Gloria? She's like, obligated. Her sister, like, you feel like you're stuck. And you're not stuck. It's a mindset thing. You have to understand you're not stuck. You can remove yourself from that situation, but it's going to take willpower and action. Not just willpower and action. Those combined, you can get yourself out, of situations like that. It's heartbreaking. Because you'll really feel like, I'm stuck here trying to manage someone else's emotions or someone else's instability, or someone else's poor decisions. I'm trying to help them get out of it because they're making me feel like I have to, like I owe them. And you'll end up stuck in that situation. There's plenty of people today that probably will never escape these situations. These toxic family dynamics, these toxic relationships. It's like, they're stuck. They're not stuck, but they are. It's the mental chains. Another tarot card representation would be, I believe, the Eight of Swords. When you're like, it's like the man, trapped behind the swords. It's a mental prison. It's not. You can get up and move, but it's a mental prison. So I've personally dealt with this, and it took me a while to realize that what I thought was love was actually control. I did start breaking things down over the years, and just, around that time, even, I started seeing people more clearly. Like, the masks were falling off, and the rose colored glasses were fading. I was able to see people for who they really were. And so I encourage, anyone who is going through that, or you feel like you're stuck in cycles, dynamics with people, and it's like really toxic, and you really want to free yourself and you don't know how. I mean, you can DM me, and we can, we can talk about it, and just be open and honest, and actually be willing to do the work to free yourself. But there's definitely a way out of situations like that. Don't ever feel like you are trapped, because you're not trapped. It is a state of mind. And that's what I wanted to share with y'all. And I hope this video, you were able to gain some insight and some clarity from it. And hope y'all just take care and have a great week. And thanks for watching Aisha's Lifestyle Haven. And see you.